Watch him throw the ball, we gon' pick it off. You gon' let him hit the hole or you gon' cut it off. You gon' play through fourth and long or you gon' punt it off. Your defenders, heavy hitters, put your pads in. Don't be looking for the ref to throw no flags in. Keep the helmet on, keep the cleats tight. You the type to want to win by any means, right? You should look alive. This is Trap or Dive.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of Trap or Dive Podcast. I'm your host of the Trap or Dive Podcast, Mual. And with the fellas, man, AJ, Dre, let me go ahead and unmute Dre, make sure he's straight. There it is. Let's get the administrative items out of the way right quick, man. If you are new to the Trap or Dive Podcast on the YouTube side, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that like button as well. Appreciate everybody in the chat. What's up, Monty? What's up, Jay Tizzy? Benz. He's alive. Dre is alive. Where we at? Twitch side, same thing. If you want Twitch, man, hit that follow button. We appreciate that on that side. Audio, if you are new to the audio side, hit that follow button. Hit us with a rating and review. If you are new or returning and you haven't done so already, man, it takes 2 seconds to do so, and it's free, and it shows you support that way, man. I was about to say something about I'm gonna hold my tongue. I'm gonna be humble. And leave it there. Fellas, what's going on, man? How y'all feeling, bro?
It's good, bro. Hey, Mo, it's funny. How did you even do the show on Sunday? Because I saw a picture that you posted, bro. You look fried up that joint.
Yeah, nah, Shorty was looking out, bro. Well, I mean, I went to her one time, but I came back to the same bar twice. That video I took was the second time. I was halfway through my second cup. First jump, she blessed me with like, she gave me like a double, and then like I took half a sip, and she said, how that jump strong? I was honest with her. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you, John, little weak as shit. She said, all right, give me your cup. She said, take a little sip, give me your cup, bro. Next thing I know, pour that motherfucker, pour that jump. So I was lit by kickoff, bro. I was good, bro. But yeah, nah, I did the shot, bro. It wasn't, I mean, I had a 30-minute walk back to my car when the game was over, so I sobered up.
Oh, you walked the alcohol off.
Yeah, I sobered up.
But like me, my situation is I can't do any day drinking if I know I got some shit to do hours and hours later. Like I can do the show right after, but then I realized like, nah, dog, that day drinking, it's gonna put me out.
Yeah, man. I was like, when I started that jump, bro, I ain't hear no word from I knew I didn't hear from AJ at that point yet, but I knew something was up with his phone. I didn't know if his phone was lost or something. He got on the show for like 2 seconds, said it was stolen. So I found out. But like I was like, all right, so I don't know what's going on with AJ. I'm not expecting him to be on. I don't hear nothing from Dre. But I'm like, I told the chat. That's why Ben's talking. I was like, honestly, bro, Dre probably somewhere drunk, bro. he probably drunk, bro. And I don't know what's going on, but we gonna see. We gonna see if he show up. Otherwise, we doing this thing dolo, bro. But I had the chat. I was chopping it up with everybody.
Yeah, man. Glad we reunited, and it feels good.
I didn't even know AJ's situation.
Man, it was just it was my fault. Went to breakfast, forgot my damn phone at the restaurant. When I finally realized, too late, that shit was gone. So it's like everything is electronic. So it's like I don't know my way around that town at all.
So you ain't go to the game?
Nah, bruh. Like I was going crazy because I was like, what do I do? Like I was like, what do I do? I had no like real plan of what to do next. So I pretty much went and had to go get a new phone. But then like the way the thing is set up, you can't get the code unless your phone is activated in order to log back into your Apple account, unless you got your iCloud, unless you got another Apple device with you. I ain't had my laptop, so it's like it is what it is, bro. It's just a unfortunate thing. I was more so concerned about Mual. That was my main thing. So when I was able to at least have some communication, I found out that he figured it out. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we just got to try to run that shit back. Just under different circumstances. But either way, you know, glad he enjoyed himself. I didn't get to see the pictures of him being fried. But I missed even a portion of the game, but I was able to run it back. But I seen the stadium was jam-packed, top to bottom. So you really don't even see that. But yeah, man. This Bears.
Yeah, I was surrounded by like I was telling the people in the chat like where I was. That's why I was asking if he was at the game, because when I sat down, I was like, damn, like people were sitting next to me. So I'm like, where the fuck was Agent? Where was he sitting at? Because I was like, you must have had the hookup, bro.
Because what happens?
See all of Baltimore from my seats, bro.
So what happens with player tickets? If you don't use it by a certain time, the box office can do whatever with them. So I guess is what happened. It's like I tried to communicate with them to see if they could print out a version for me, but they couldn't because then they needed the contact. I won't say his name on here, but yeah, I was just like, man, I ain't about to go through all that shit, bro. At the end of the day, as long as this nigga's taken care of, because I don't even have a way of communicating with him. Yeah, that's it, bro. But yeah, man,
bro. I'm glad you're good though. It wasn't nothing like. I mean, your phone is serious, but like health wise or whatever else. Oh yeah,
that was great. I mean, I had a solid little weekend. You know, I wish I had some company. Maybe I would have stepped out the Norman.
Well, I definitely want. They moved our game up to 8 a.m. So if it was gonna be Saturday night, I definitely wasn't fading, bro. I'm not. Yeah. I ain't getting lit and then having to drive back home and get up for a 8 a.m. game, bro. But I definitely we can spin the block, bro. If you want to go to another game, you let me know.
Yeah, it's better. It's better when it's at home. If it's at home, I don't have any guys that play for the Ravens. So like if it's at home, know how to work situations.
I'm Ubering at FedEx, bro. To hell with driving there. I'm Ubering.
Nah, I mean we just get parking pass.
Oh no, I'm tripping. I could park. My man's live down the street. That's what I used to do. I'm gonna park it. I'm gonna park in Bracey Road.
No, we get parking passes. You straight.
We get parking passes. I'm trying to avoid that. Man, that traffic, bro.
Man, that traffic. You can't miss it.
I was gonna ask, how was our fan turnout there, Mo? Like, did you notice?
Oh no, they was packed. That's what I was gonna say. Where I was seated, it was like where I was directly seated. It was probably about that I can see visually in front of me. I wasn't really focused too much behind me, except for that girl who was dancing behind me, that woman. But it was probably like seven, like no more than 7 Skins fans like in my direct vision. But like when you look down in the bowl, like it's packed. Like it's a good mix of skins and Ravens fans. So we was representing for sure. And like when Sam Stool picked the ball off first quarter, first drive, bro. Like all I knew when I heard that, and I'm going crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, we in here. Like I hear everybody up, like everybody going crazy, bro. So like we was out there, and then I went to. I said I was lit, you know what I'm saying, first half. So like I went to go ahead and use the bathroom right quick, get some liquor out of my system, right, like around 6 minutes. So it was the drive leading up to them scoring 10, their first touchdown of the game. So like I'm catching like a couple of plays, even the Terry touchdown, I'm catching it on the TV outside by the concession stand. But like I'm hearing us like when they making the big plays, the screenplay to Eckler, the screenplay to Diami, and then the touchdown, like we in that joint going crazy. So like we was in that joint. We was on that joint deep. JCZ was in there, bro. They was out there, bro. Yeah, they was out there.
That's good to hear.
Let's talk about the game because we didn't get to do that on Sunday.
Yeah, y'all got the floor.
But I feel like I didn't get to actually see it until later on in the day. I had to unfortunately catch a radio call of that. But I feel like where they really I think coming into the game, one of my key things I said for them to win was to create turnovers. So for them to get their first interception of the season in that game, and the only turnover that happened that entire game and still managed to lose is extremely frustrating.
It hurts.
And the fact that they did not score a touchdown off of that Sandstrom interception and return is what possibly cost them the game. You think of that not being a touchdown. Also, his name is Seibert, right? The kicker?
Yeah, Seibert.
Seibert missing that kick to end the first half. Like, all those different things, you know, played a role in them losing the game. Of course, like, they couldn't really stop Baltimore's offense. But at some point, you have to be able to capitalize off of those turnovers that you can produce. I mean, we've been hearing Joe Witt Jr. speak about how much, you know, they're not really turning over the ball like he's accustomed to and what he's familiar with. And to have that moment where they flip the field and then also a 35 or 38-yard return, I can't remember exactly, and not to score 6 off of that, well, 7, I should say, it's frustrating.
Yeah, for me, AJ, and I'm with you on that. And not only that, they also had other opportunities for turnovers. That one with Lamar or the bot snap that was on the ground for a while.
Oh,
and we had like 2 or 3 players not jump on it.
I couldn't see the TV jump, but they said Bobby Wagner ran right past the football.
He did. He ran right past it. I'm like, come on, that's the type of stuff that you have to flip the field on right there. Those opportunities are there. I mean, it's not the only game where we've not been able to jump on one of those fumbles. It's happened quite a few times. So hopefully that's something they get on. But for me, one of my biggest takeaways, and, you know, even though it's a loss, I'm not with the moral victory stuff, but honestly, I thought this was Jaden Daniels' best performance as a pure passer. And that was so encouraging to me because Baltimore clearly made a concerted effort to not let him get anything outside of the pocket as far as scrambling. Anything he scrambled for, it was a little bit of yards. It wasn't nothing like a big play down the field. So Jaden was kind of confined to the pocket, but he was just dotting them up. He was dicing them up from the pocket all day long. And that's just really encouraging to see because one of the things I've been concerned or worried about with Jaden is how does he react when you take something away from him? Whether you're taking away his legs or whether you're taking away something in the passing game, how does he respond? And every time he has some kind of question that comes up, he responds. And the biggest thing, too, a lot of those passes were in the middle of the field, which is one of the knocks that he had coming into the draft season that people said that, you know, he's not, you know, he's
that ball to Ertz. Crazy.
Yes. Oh, man, the Ertz pass was incredible. You know, I mean, that's the type of stuff, the arm angle stuff he's giving you. I mean, you've seen it all on display. Like I said, he's sitting in the pocket dicing you up all day. And it just goes back to what did you take away from Jaden Daniels? Like, pick your poison with Jaden Daniels at this point. That's literally a thing with him. So, I mean, for me, that was the thing. Also, him highlighting Terry's biggest strength. We all know that Terry's biggest strength is that 50-50 ball. And you get to see that a lot now. Terry's making those plays. I mean, Jaden gives him that chance. So, you know, Terry, I don't know, you know, he's still maybe not a top 10 wide receiver, and that's fine. But Terry's still making the big plays here, and Jaden is giving him those chances. The only thing that kind of, well, I wouldn't even call it a concern, but if I had to be nicky-nack or nitpicky with Jaden Daniels, is some of his decisions on those read option plays. Because sometimes I feel like there's plays where he should keep the ball, and there's also plays where maybe he should have gave it to the back. And that's one of those things I want to see him kind of get figured out as it goes on. Because right before we joined this show, I actually watched Jay Gruden broke down a play of Jaden Daniels, that goes for a 50-yard touchdown if he keeps on the read option. So, and Jay Gruden actually predicts that this is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. And I'm with Jay. I do think that Jaden's smart enough to kind of, you know, see that on film and say, okay, if this is what the look is, this is me, I'm going to keep it, and you're going to make a big play. I mean, that's just one little nitpicky thing if I had to go with Jaden Daniels. It's not even something that I just noticed this last game. It's stuff that I've noticed in the past few games, just on those little keepers, like when to keep it and when to give it to the back. But overall, man, I was just impressed with Jaden. I came away from this game like, man, like this dude is really the real deal. Like, you really can't take anything from this guy because he's going to dice you up in another way. So that's the biggest thing for me coming from this game.
Yeah, it was so many phenomenal moments from just being a fan of the game. You didn't even have to necessarily be a fan of the Commanders or the Ravens. It was just beautiful quarterbacking. You know, guys were taking what was there to them, but also doing the extra things that you can't teach. I mean, like you guys said, that pass to Ertz, a thing of beauty. Like if you love football, you love that position. That was a thing of beauty. The fourth down clutch moment, so poised. Like to even have the report that I heard, you know, Terry McLaurin said, like, you know, I told him I'm gonna try to feed him the slant. If it's there, I'll take it. If it's not there, hit me with the fade. And he hit him perfectly for the fade to score a touchdown on 4th and goal. Like it
I
was
feel like to
so,
even refire that, because like he pump
yeah.
fakes and then like a half a second later he has to have the arm strength to deliver that jump. Like it's not like he had to reset his whole body. Like he's under, it's cover 0, bruh. And they're sending heat his way, and you have to hit the pump and then immediately have to hit the front pylon, bruh. And you get it there. It's crazy.
Then the play before that, the layered touchdown pass to Terry in the red zone. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe people were out here actually trying to tell us that they should draft Drake May. like Drake May, bro. I'm sitting there thinking about that, but at the same token, even though they lost the game by 7 points, it was a win. Washington really didn't necessarily lose that game because we all expected them to lose. We just, you know, came on here high hope. At the end of the day, we expected them to lose that game when the schedule came out. Like no matter who was playing quarterback.
Yeah, so, but I'm cool. I had fun. I still
for him to go out there, ball, and Washington be able to see how they can compete. I think that just gives them even more adrenaline going for the rest of the season, because in the AFC side, we view the Chiefs or the Ravens to be one of those Super Bowl teams representing the AFC. Like to be able to compete against them like that and hold your own, and you don't even have a full repertoire of talent. Like if you just look at the Baltimore Ravens defense, they got elite talent on each line of their defense. Defensive line, Matabuke, linebacker, Roquan Smith.
He gave out a gritty hell.
Secondary, they got Marlon Humphrey and Kyle Hamilton. It's like he did his damn thing out there, and he don't even have no weapons he don't have really no weapons for real. So it was just like, yeah, man, I can't wait till they continue to build around him. But I think this is a season that a lot of fans weren't anticipating going to happen. But Washington's the real deal. And I think they got a lot of momentum going.
I just want to add something right quick, because first off, Jay Tizzy had lower bowl end zone seats. That's lit. Congratulations. I know you had a hell of a view. But like
you had a hell of a view too, Mo.
Yeah, I did. I did have a good view.
All 22.
I really did though.
All seen the projects from that Mo.
I saw the project. I saw everything, bro. I saw 695. You know what I'm saying? But look though, one thing that I want to mention, because y'all both brought up some points that I was going to talk about. But another angle that I was looking at earlier that I think is interesting, bro. Like when you look at Washington and Jayden Daniels, I just want y'all to know, like, remind everybody the season was all about Jayden Daniels' development. We wanted to know if he was the guy, right? Everything else are subplots, subtopics, and all of that is fair. The defense is fair. The offensive line, talking about that, his supporting cast, all of that is fair game, and it shouldn't be covered by a rug or whatever. Right? Or swept under the rug is the word I'm thinking of. But if you are watching right now, or if you are listening on the podcast, or AJ and Drake, if y'all go to Lamar Jackson's rookie season from 2018 to 2020, right? I want y'all to know how impressive what Jayden Daniels is doing right now. Now, he's not alone in terms of like Cliff Kingsbury, right? Like they are in sync. They're dotting shit up, right? But if you look at the supporting cast that Lamar Jackson had on both sides of the football, bro, just comparatively speaking, Lamar for his first 3 seasons, while he's growing to develop, and they're over there winning big games, they're in some of the biggest games, they're consistently making the playoffs. Obviously, his first year, Joe Flacco did half the work, but Lamar went like 6-1 as a rookie. Lamar had a top 3 defense every single season of his first 3 or 4 years of his career. Jayden Daniels has a bottom half, bottom 12 defense, and they're 4-2. And they were neck and neck with the Baltimore Ravens. Granted, they were trailing most of the game. They had to lead the first 3 points, and it was over after that. In terms of the lead. But you're talking about a person in a team in Washington who is really doing this off the strength of their quarterback. Like their rookie quarterback at that is keeping them in football games. And this is the Jaden Daniels show, point blank period. I think that is a testament to who he could be if you get him some help on both sides of the football. But it's also something that shows you like he's ready for the moment. Like he doesn't even think, like you can tell, like just how he talks in his press conferences, right? It's all about the next game. It's all about winning and losing for him. And he talks about that against the Baltimore Ravens. Like they're not directly saying we want to give you like your flowers for the game that you played against Baltimore, but they're asking him in ways like, oh, you just went up against a Super Bowl contender. Like, how do you feel about your performance? And he's like, I thought we lost. I'm not happy about this. Like, I'm trying to get these dubs. And there's a picture of him on the sideline, I guess, where he's like sick, like he's heated. And I imagine that was at the end of the game. I don't know, but like there's a picture of him sick on the sideline, heated. And like those moments are where you look at somebody and you say that's a competitor. Now that's not going to translate to a win or a loss in your next couple of games. But the mentality part is like, I don't give a damn that I played good or that I played bad. I don't even like, I'm in the moment of like, I'm competing. And I think that's kind of what I look at when I think about Jayden Daniels at this point too. Like in addition to everything that you all said, AJ and Dre, I look at somebody who doesn't stop competing, who thinks when he steps on the field that he's going to win. And he's going to do by all means, he's going to take the big hits. He's going to use his legs. He's going to sacrifice his body. Like Cliff Kingsbury knows it. Like people do complain about him taking some big hits, and to some extent it's fair because it's a quarterback. But you're talking about a competitor who doesn't even think about he doesn't think about that stuff. Like he's trying to get a win. He's trying to get in the end zone. He's trying to get that first down, bro. And I think those are the things when I think about the intangibles of a Jayden Daniels is like I can't help but smile when I look at somebody like that, bro. Because like I know for a fact every single game, like I really did think when we were down 14, I had no like now granted the PI from Noah Brown saved the drive, but I really did think that there was a shot that they were still going to win. I personally believe that. And I do think honestly, like that moment, like something had to happen big, like a turnover or something. And I didn't think that they were going to give up a 20-something yard gain on second down that would have ended. Like not 20-something yards.
But
like,
did it shock you? Because it didn't shock me, really.
Yeah, like I didn't think we was giving up 20-something yards, bro. I'm like, because that first half, and this is a side note, but that first half, like you held Derrick Henry to under 4 yards to carry, like 3.5 yards to carry. I'm like, okay. And in the run game in general, under 4 yards to carry, like you're doing something right. But I didn't know because I was up there and talking to Jesus in my seats. I didn't know that John Allen was hurt, and I didn't know that they was having some issues.
Armstrong too.
Yeah, but I didn't know that they was having those issues. So I'm just looking at the game and I'm like, yo, what's going on, bro? And I don't
think Allen and Armstrong got hurt until the second half. But the issue was you sold everything to stop the run, but your back end wasn't strong enough to defend Zay Flowers. I mean, he had a career day in the first half.
Yeah,
like he didn't have any other catches for the second half, but he hit his career numbers. He had like 118 receiving yards on like 4 receptions or whatever the case was. Like it's just something. I think that's the issue with Sanders playing outside versus being in the slot. Is like now you don't have that extra trait why you even drafted a Sanders for him to be that agile with a guy like a Zay Flowers, for example. Now you have to put a 6'3", 220-pound corner on a
everybody got cooked by him though, AJ. Not just Ben. I mean, Noah was getting cooked by.
I'm about to say Noah.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the way this has been lining up,
everybody got it, but you don't have
outside the last couple of weeks.
You don't have sticky coverage. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, you don't have the back end, and you don't have a shutdown cornerback there. Like that's one of the major issues. But I just feel like that's the bonus of Baltimore Ravens having a Derrick Henry in comparison to having to run with like a Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins or whoever back or Justice Hill as a feature back. There's no way you can stop that offense for real. Like, because if you sell out on the run game, the pass game is open. You got 13 personnel that they can utilize with 2 tight ends. You got at least an adequate enough wide receiver to get open, especially if you're having to play man and playing cover zero. It's like, yeah, it was like you. That's why I said to begin everything, the Sandusville interception was a pivotal moment that they needed to score a touchdown on. If they had scored a touchdown on that particular turnaround, I think they win the game.
That one, and it was a moment where they got the ball back. They forced a punt, and I think it was still 3-3, and they went 3 and out or something like that. I think it was actually the next drive after they kicked the field goal.
And the OZ drop. That OZ drop changed the game to me.
Yeah, that one was big. You talking about a first down, bro, and boom. That one hurt. I think about the block field goal drive. Because you get ball at halftime, and they end up kicking a field goal, make it 17-13. But if you make that field goal, like who knows what type of situation you're in that's honestly, would y'all have went for? I mean, excuse me. Well, they had plenty of time, but would y'all have kicked the onside kick, bro? Like when you went down 30-23, you kicked that field goal. Would y'all went for the onside kick, bro? Because like if you think about it, if you really couldn't stop them, why not take your chance with the onside kick? You got to declare it. Like it's gonna be no secret. But would y'all have tried to do the onside?
I think I would have went for it because I felt like my defense ain't stopping shit right now. Like to be honest. We ain't stopping nothing. We selling out still on the run, and we getting gassed more than we were the first half. So I would have went for it. Like, but at the end of the day, they felt like maybe we will get this potential stop. But yeah, that didn't happen.
But what's wild is they actually put a lot of faith in that defense in the game. And earlier there was a decision where a lot of people called out. Well, we could have went for it on 4th and 6. Now, honestly, if it was me, we were playing Madden or college football, I'm going for the 4th and 6. I would have advocated going for the 4th and 6. But at that point in time, I got the decision because it was 3-3 at that point in time when they could have went for the 4th and 6. And we were in Baltimore territory. But I get it. But I get the decision because it was 3-3 and the defense was actually playing pretty well. And
I know you. I would have went for it though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Me too. I would have went for it, but I get the decision in that moment because you did pin them on the 4-yard line while it was 3-3, and you had pretty much stopped almost all of their drives to this point. But then that's when the Ravens kind of flipped the game and they went 95 yards down to score the touchdown. And at that point, and that's when I wouldn't have trusted the defense at any point in the game. So yes, I would have went for that onside kick right there.
All right. See everybody in the chat. Deluxe said his back was to the chain link fence. That's crazy. Okay. What's going on, Will? Appreciate y'all checking in. All right, so let's go ahead and hear from Underdog Fantasy and let's chop it up with the good man Lynell Willingham. All right, let's take a break from the show right quick. And let me tell you something about Underdog Fantasy. It is the greatest time of the year because football is back and it's here to stay till February. You can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats such as touchdowns, passing yards, and more. Peep that touchdown thing, right? If you're a Commanders fan, Jayden Daniels, Brian Robinson, you're looking like money. You can make that entry on Underdog Fantasy, choose higher on their touchdown total, get you some bread. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over Underdog's simple to use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code TrapperDive and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code TrapperDive to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona. and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP or 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. What you laughing at, bro?
Nah, I seen Jay Tyler said, "Damn, we got Lynell in the house." So I was
Lynell.
thinking about that, like, how many times? How many times a week does Lynell get called Lynell?
Inordinate amount.
Hey, bro.
Shit crazy. Damn, I got the Underdog fantasy. I didn't even know that. That's congratulations, fellas.
Hey,
man, appreciate it, man. Yeah, I forgot to mention that we had Lynell Willingham join us today. We just started off talking about the shit that we went through on Sunday. I forgot to bring up Lynell's coming through.
Man,
but Lynell's
turn up with y'all, man.
Yeah, Lynell's here, man. He's gonna chop it up with us about these boys, the good guys, Washington Commanders. Obviously, Lynell, 30-23 loss against the Baltimore Ravens. We spent a good amount of time talking about one aspect of the game, and that is one player himself and Jayden Daniels. What's your thoughts on Jayden to this point? Like, that was a big game, and he showed up. He showed no fear. I think he had, honestly, in my opinion, he had one bad play, and that one was the overthrow to Noah Brown, where it could have been picked off. I think they ended up kicking a field goal on that drive. And honestly, that was about it. Everything else, crisp. And he showed up in clutch moments, time and again, delivering to Terry and other receivers as well. What's your thoughts on Jayden's performance in a really big spot early in his rookie season?
I don't know if it's like recency bias, but I was like, man, I feel like that's the best game I've seen him play in terms of, as a passer and watching him just continue to grow. And he's special, man. Like, it was evident in Kent, man. Like, but then we started building the narrative of always going up against the same defense every day. He was doing this in August, man. He was dicing their ass up day in, day out. And it felt like I didn't know if he could run. I always say this whenever I talk about him. I didn't know if he could run because in camp, we didn't see it. So when he comes out against Tampa and he shows he could boogie, I'm like, whoa, okay. This kid is like, I don't want to, and fans get scared of like having real conversations. I don't think a lot of us are used to like success or having a guy like him. He has the chance to be in that realm of like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar. Like, he's special, man. He can really work and win from within the pocket. He's doing veteran stuff like moving guys with his eyes and his body to create throwing windows for himself. Like, it's stuff you see on tape with him, bro. He's mature, man. And like, I wonder if teams start looking at fifth-year quarterbacks differently, like guys who have played 5 years of college, because he comes in already seasoned just from playing the position for that long. And I know his time with Brian Kelly like really helped him a lot. He's a hard-ass coach, but really is a good quarterback. With his person who helps him, but he showed he's nice, man. That's the best way I could put it. Like, I continued to be blown away. Sunday was like another gear because he's not gonna make it about himself. It's our job. Like, it was him versus the Ravens. He went toe to toe with them on Sunday, and it was impressive to watch.
Yeah, definitely an amazing performance by Jayden Daniels. To kick off this week, the news is that Jonathan Allen tore his pectoral. I would ask you, do you think that Jonathan Allen has played his last game as a Washington Commander?
Anything can happen, right? But I would probably say yeah. I mean, it sucks. Like, I felt bad when when we were doing the in-game show. When you leave the game with a pec, you kind of figure you was done for the year. Like, that's one of those injuries when they called it a pec, I was like, all right, it's probably done. Because normally it's either a tear or it's never anything in between. So like, I was thinking like, damn, immediately, like, you can't trade him. Because like, he hadn't played well this year. And like, I don't think him or Duran have played well this year. I don't know if it's the scheme. But they're getting teams are running trap and counter against us, and they're screaming upfield, and teams are letting them do what they want to do. They don't make enough impact plays, in my opinion, to be the highest paid defensive tackle duo in the league. But John was, I don't know. John just had an up and down year, just like Deron. I think he has played this last down, though. He turns 30, or he'll be 30 next year, and 1 year left on his deal. He's got no more guaranteed money. I thought potentially, based on what their record was, you could have seen him moved at the deadline, but obviously they got off to a good start. But yeah, he's probably played this last down.
Let's spend some time on that right quick, because we ain't even talk about that during AJ. Lynell, I think it's interesting. The bigger thing is that you mentioned is like no guaranteed money on his deal after this. I think he's $21 million cap hit this year, $23 million next year. But next year is a dead cap of only $6 million. So like that's kind of little to nothing in terms of like NFL money, right? Yeah. I think for John, bruh, while the last game comment I think is debatable, but I lean towards it being his last moment here in Washington. Bruh, they needed a John Allen for the rest of this season. Y'all know Jerry, AJ, y'all know Big Phil, that's my dog.
Phil's playing, man.
Bro. And y'all know I told y'all, if y'all listen to this damn show, I told y'all he needed some time, bro. His first couple years he was behind the 8 ball, bro. But even Dan Quinn spoke about him, I think either directly after the game or yesterday. I can't remember when he said it, but he gave Big Phil his props, bro. And I'm telling you, it just took some time, and he's going to keep ascending. And I think this moment, while he's going to be in a rotation still, he's going to have his moments where he really elevates it, or his play that's already elevated is going to stand out even more because John Allen ain't there. But John Allen is a guy who really just started increasing like his effort and like matching the intensity of some players around him. And I think that was kind of noticeable on tape. I think that was something where it's like a person who started out the season pretty slow. While I don't think he was like a playmaker this year, right? I think the depth, but the ability to have a couple snaps and have a couple reps with the skill set that he could bring is something where it's like you're definitely going to miss that. And especially with like then what's dude's name on the edge? Dorrance Armstrong. I don't know what his status is moving forward, but like they deployed a couple times last week, and I don't know how many times they did it this week. They deployed a Johnny Newton, Daron Payne, and John Allen alignment up front a few times against the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. You ain't got that no more. And like that ability to move Johnny Newton around or Daron Payne around was very, very good for this defense. But you know, John Allen gone. Like, what do you do now? I don't know, but I think you really needed him for your depth piece at least for 10 more games, bro.
I mean, I don't think it stops them from being able to do the 5-man front stuff. I just think you replace John with Phil with that. I agree with you though. Like Phil's really playing. They was giving me crap the other day on the radio. I was like, man, I think, and I haven't watched the all 22 back of this game or even the last game, to be honest with you. But it feels like Phil takes on the double team as good as anybody on this defensive line. And he doesn't get displaced the way you're seeing John. John and Deron was getting blown 5-6 yards off the ball. Like that, it's one thing to get double team, but like it's technique that you use to where that don't happen.
Yeah, stalemated, bro. Like
Phil stalemates a lot, man. Ball, bro. And he uses his length really well, and he engages the guards and the centers first. And like you can see it, his get off. I can see where he could be like a good rotation, maybe even a good starter, man. Like he got good length, man. Like that helps him out a lot. You fire off and you get in first contact because you're so damn long, and you don't have to line up. You notice the way he lines up. You don't have to line up all close. You can really give yourself two-way goals sometimes. I like the way Phil's played.
And on top of that, he got that little. Now I don't know if anybody gonna agree with me with this one, but I stand tall in this. But he gives you a little pass rush juice that John Ridgeway ain't give you.
Oh, here we go.
He used his hands. He used his hands really good.
Now you done got a
I
little
like.
too excited.
Look, nah, no, I ain't even get started, bro. I'm not done yet.
Okay, feel bad for your
He got his hand rushed. He got his hand playing, bro. He know what he's doing, bro. Now, granted, he gave you a couple pressures this season already. Ain't nobody talking about it except for me. But he do his thing, bro. He ain't like no Deron Payne in a contract year type good. You know what I'm saying? But
key in a contract. I'm glad you put that.
That's why I was intentional when I said that.
Bank robber, bro.
But look. Let me switch gears a little bit because this is something I do want to mess with AJ a bit about this. Lynell, can you help me and Mual convince our co-host here how big of a loss, how big of an impact Brian Robinson is to this team? Because AJ felt like we were going to be okay without him as long as we had Eckler, and we've been kind of explaining to him all year.
Like Kevin Sheehan.
We have been explaining to him all year that Eckler is great in the role that he's in because he doesn't have to do the things that Brian Robinson could do. You can keep him fresh. You can bounce him to the outside. You can use him in certain different types of ways. But didn't this Sunday kind of prove how big of a loss he was? Because we were one-dimensional without Brian Robinson out there.
Because I follow y'all my dogs, I know AJ thinks B-Rob has no vision, and he thinks Eckler has better vision. And I know what it is, but, like, you've seen it on Sunday, though. You've seen it on Sunday, like, they don't have this smash mouth. Like, Eckler can't take that. They're not comfortable letting him take that pounding. Like, B-Rob going to get you a dirty 3 yards, and he may do it 2 plays in a row, and now you're in 3rd and 6, or you're in 3rd and 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, he helps the linemen out, man. He be running up their back. He makes the blocking easier for them, man. I think because he's a bigger dude. They need him. He's I think it was JP put out a pie chart of, like, the percentage of the offense that he was what he was responsible for, and it was massive. And you can see it though. It's the physicality element too, though, man. But Cliff, I don't know how y'all feel. He should have stayed with the run more because, like, that's who they are.
Hey, Lynell, you just contradicted yourself.
But, like, he should have stayed with it more, though.
Exactly.
But, like, I see why he did it. So
it's like Eckler. He didn't stay with the run. The game plan, obviously, from watching the whole game, but even while I was going, the plan was to just pass the ball. Like, he never wanted to really threaten that run defense. They didn't stay with the run long enough, but in the opportunities that Eckler did get early in the game and McNichols, they were productive. Like,
he just had a 5-yard run and a 4-yard run. It was his only carries.
I say Eckler was productive for sure.
I think Eckler.
I don't know why. And I was
like
saying
seven rushes. Like,
yeah, it was no. I think I counted it. It was 6 times they were in 3rd and 7 or longer, and, like, that was one of those. I haven't charted all of the games, but, like, that has to be a season high, and, like, they struggled. They converted once. They struggle in those situations, but the run game has been so impactful. And it's one thing people can say, well, you can replace that with, like, the screen stuff and the RPO stuff to, like, try to get – it's about having positive yards on 1st and 2nd down. And they're one of the best teams. That's their formula right now. And they're nailing these 3rd and shorts. And if they don't get it, they're going for it on 4th and getting it. So it was huge not having B-Rob. I think his mentality is different if he's got B-Rob. I don't think they're comfortable running those guys in between the tackles like that.
But I'll ask all of you guys this. I think one of my issues I have with Cliff sometimes, it takes him a little bit too long in the game to get into his groove. Like, it took a little bit too long in that Baltimore game to get into a groove and get into a rhythm. Like, if he could just come out in that rhythm from the first 15 scripted, it would be amazing to see. Like, hopefully that's something that we do end up seeing from him at some point this season. But I thought it just took a little bit too long for him to adjust to what Zach Orr was doing defensively with his guys. And like you guys said, they weren't necessarily getting positive yards, so they were in 3rd and long, and they were sending the house after them. Like, and you don't have wide receivers that really were separating from the defensive backs. Like, it's just, you got an amazing quarterback and making some nice throws, some tight throws or whatever, but you didn't have guys like, even think of Terry McLaurin. I think he finished the day 6 catches for 53 yards, 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't really separating from nobody. Like, it was just hell of a play.
He wasn't, but I think that's also a testament to to how hard those players was really standing out. Like in the, I don't like. I say that to say like that specific comment. I think. Let me rewind. I think that Cliff could have got off to a quicker start from the standpoint of like, if you are going to like run the ball or even like your RPO, right? Like he stayed true to who he was. Like he even did against Cleveland. Like he stays true to exactly who he is and who his quarterback is. Like and he's not going to shy away from that, right? Like if you are going to defend us, you better be able to defend both the quarterback or all 11 on the offense, right? But I think you can be creative off the fact that people know that you're going to use Jayden Daniels as an option or as a threat to the defense. And I think that's some things that hurts them sometimes. But on the other side, I think that Baltimore had a game plan where you're talking about. Now, Roquan Smith said last week when we talked to Cordell, Jayden ain't seen a defense like this, right? Wow, Jayden wasn't really phased for the most part. And for the most part, I still think that their rush plan forced him to make tough throws. They had a good contain plan. They had a good interior rush plan. They kept him in the pocket, and for the most part, if he tried to get out, he had to take a wide angle. He couldn't just get up the B gaps or the A gaps, right? And I say all this to say, AJ, when you said things about Cliff, they covered these receivers well. They plastered like Marlon Humphrey. He didn't have that much have that many reps against Terry. Like he was going up against Noah Brown. He was going up against the kids. So like that's Strap City for him. Like most part, you're gonna have to motherfucking hope that these dudes break them off and make a play. Terry on the other end, he had some looks where it's gonna be tight coverage, but at the same time, if you get him a good ball on the boundary side, he's gonna have to make a play. Like he's going to have to make a play. And that's just kind of the nature of the way this game was in terms of like our talent versus their talent. Zach Ertz over the middle, of course, when you talk about cover 3, cover 1, sometimes converting that to man coverage, like depending on like where that receiver is in your zone, you're gonna have to make a play too in terms of your quarterback throwing the ball. But like that is exactly what this game came down to. So like I don't know if this is Cliff's like in terms of like that aspect, like tight coverage. These are things where you're talking about you really just gotta show up as a player. And Jayden exceeded expectations. That's all I was getting at. Jayden exceeded expectations, and so did Terry, bro. 5 catches, 5 of his 6 catches, contested balls, bro. Like contested catches, and Jayden put him in great position to make a play, and he came through time and time and again. Like I said it on Twitter, like those 6 catches for 50-something yards, bro, was probably one of the better games Terry had this season, bro. Because like he showed up, and yeah, it is crazy. He showed up in some of the biggest moments of the game, trying to keep these guys in it, bro. Both Jayden and Terry. So that's kind of where it's like scheme wise, I'm with you in some aspects, but the separation part, like that's just your best player as your best receiver having to come up in a big moment, bro.
Hey, real quick, because I've seen it. I didn't hear the interview or anything, but I seen something mentioned where Lynell, you interviewed Vinny Serrato. What was the question that you asked him? I'm just curious.
That was crazy. You know, Chris Russell be wilding on that show. If y'all ever listen, like, it's cool. It's actually really entertaining. But like we be going
the 4 o'clock jump or the 2 o'clock jump?
1 to 4 jump. Yeah, we be doing 1 to 4 on 980 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We had Vinny on, and like I asked him, like, man,
he's a weekly guest, or
no. We just had him on because he works at 105.7, so he covers the Ravens. Okay. So we had him on to preview the game, and I asked him like straight up, like I gave him the context of like who I am. I'm a younger fan, and when I hear growing up, Vinny Serrato was like known as the biggest dumbass alive, like literally the dumbest agent turned GM that you'll ever find in your life, and like he didn't have football background, but I didn't realize he actually did have some football background. I was kind of disrespectful, but in the context, like,
you said that to him?
No. Well, no, this is what I said to him.
Continue.
I asked him, I said, Vinny, man, I gave him the context who I am. I'm a young fan. You're not perceived too well around here. Like, do you understand how disliked you are by like Washington fans? And then he was like, well, hold on. And I said, I think because of the losing and all that. He was like, well, we won a little bit too, and Gibbs 2.0 in his first year. But he basically was just mad that I said that nobody liked him. That's pretty much what I was trying to ask. Like, does he know that? It's like people.
That is kind of wild how you came out and said that, though, bro. I said that is kind of wild how you asked that. You straight up told them.
Do you know that people don't fuck with you, bro?
Like pretty much, yeah. Like, do you know that? Like, do you get it? Because like anytime you bring up Vinny Serrato amongst fans, the answer is universal. Everybody got the same feeling. He's stupid. You don't know what he was like. No one has respect for Vinny Serrato. That's just what
y'all just had him on a call, right? He wasn't in the studio because some hands probably would have started flying.
Hey, that's how Lynell super comfortable with us, bro. Like,
Lynell was waiting for the opportunity. As soon as he seen him on the guest list, he was like,
"Oh, I got some words."
He was like, "I wonder if he knows how much he ruined my childhood."
I think.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you, AJ. That's why I'm struggling with that one person that was supposed to be coming through.
I mean, I'll say it.
No, help, relax, bro. You getting too relax?
Why can't I? We shouldn't say it.
No, I mean, because if he do come on, then
right.
TV.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
You got smoke right now. Hold up.
You ain't gotta do that right now, bro. Yeah, but that's how I feel. That's how I feel, though, bro. That's how I feel, though, AJ. Like, I'm like, bro, like. I'm like, I don't want to do it, but like, I can't help but say something if I can't help it.
We gotta separate the art from the artist, Mual.
Hey, he told a crazy story though too, man. To try to like prove his credibility. He said, and remember the Devin Thomas, Malcolm Kelly draft?
Yeah.
He said he said he had to pick in on the car. He was trying to turn it in. It was gonna be Jamal Charles, but Dan said no.
He said that before. He told us that before.
Oh, Dan said okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I believe him, but
Vinny
I'm like,
was his yes man.
You put Dan in there.
Vinny was Dan's yes man. Like whatever Dan said, Vinny would do, and that's why Dan kept him around for so long because Dan had him here. I think when he first signed in '99, but I think when Marty came in, Marty was like, "Nah, we get rid of this Joker," and then he brought him back.
Yeah, that's what he said. Of
Marty. I'm gonna text Jamal and ask him if he knew how much Washington wanted him during that draft.
He probably thank God we ain't draft him.
Shorty he had a career, man.
Yeah, but the Chiefs, man, he was nice.
He did. Hey, so I didn't know Vinny was a well, Moneyball says that he did his thing in San Francisco. I don't know too much.
D-list movie actor too before he got into a lot of the romantic stuff. He was in some bad movies.
I just asked that because it was in the chat, but like I was just curious, like. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to like every guest that you guys have on your show. You feel me? And I don't feel like you really disrespected him. I think that he has to understand what he did for the organization, and that's the reality. You feel me? Because you're just speaking from the fact that you also now cover a team, but you were a fan of the team before anything. Right. So it's like. How many opportunities you gonna have to interview him and have that dialogue? And that's what makes like journalists like who they are. Like you gotta be okay with asking those questions. I mean, you're not gonna tightrope. Maybe the others might want to do that, but I don't feel like telling you it's straight. Hey, I don't feel like it's disrespectful. It could have been so much worse. Like it could have been so much worse.
What's crazy beforehand, me Chris was joking with me like. Was I gonna say anything? Because I was kind of telling him that I wanted to ask him like before. Because I'm like, man, he don't know. Like that era of football was so crazy. Like we was trotting out crazy people. Like even the Shanahan era. Like I would love to talk to Bruce Allen. Like those type of people because they was wilding, man. Like they didn't like the rumors that they tell. Man, some of the stories I've heard since starting to work at the station, man. Dan was wild, man. They was in that joint fraternizing.
Psychopath, man.
All right, so let's cause I know what's going on. Al too. He's Lord.
That was my biggest fear. That was my biggest fear.
Oh man. Okay. All right, where we at? Lynell, all right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. Before we get you out of here, bro. The defense, man. So I'm glad I brought it up. All right, so the defense, Ben Standig has reported a couple hours ago. For those who are listening, obviously, John Allen, we talked about it for a second. He tore his pec, out for the season. But Carl Davis has worked out with the Commanders. So has cornerback Kyle Fuller, Michael Ojemudia, defensive tackle DeAndre Senat, and defensive tackle Jonathan Marshall. Carl Davis has signed to the practice squad. He's a defensive tackle. Defensively, Lynell, I personally think that this team is a playoff team right now, right? And it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of situations for me to get off that a lot of things that happen for me to like change my opinion, right? I think that regardless of what happens over the next couple of weeks, immediate couple of weeks after this Baltimore game, I still think that they are a playoff team. They're one of the top 8 teams in the NFC. I think that this defense is probably going to paint a picture. What do you say? You say perception is 99% the reality or something like that. I think that this defense, while this offense can really keep them in a lot of games in pretty much every game, right? I don't know how far they can go when you're talking about a team who can really, at the blink of an eye, at any point of a given Sunday, give up 400 yards a game and really hinder your chances to winning, especially when they're not producing turnovers. Last week was cool. They got you one in the air, but like it's not frequent enough. Like they're not even the 2012 team where they're producing turnovers out the wazoo, even though they're giving up plenty of yards. Like it's rough, bro. What do you think about this defense and their chances moving forward to really compete for something serious?
Yeah, that's actually, we're going to talk about this a little bit tomorrow on the show, me and Chris are, because like I'm at the same spot with you. Like I don't trust them defensively, and I think for them, I feel what you feel too. Like I got playoffs, but then I also think we still had the schedule and we took the circle wins. That's how it matters more than anything. I don't think you can look stylistically like.
Hey, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do us all a favor, bro. Because your audio is kind of like roboting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's up with you. You on Wi-Fi, bro?
Niggas, the screen is even blurry.
You gotta go ahead and connect to that Wi-Fi.
We there.
Connect to that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you good. You're good now. You're
okay.
good.
All right. Run everything. Run everything that you said back. Run it back.
All right, Beth. So I was saying, like, yeah, I don't trust them on defense. I don't. Like, not even a little bit. I see them getting better week to week, and they're starting to, like, emulate the style that they want to play, and they're developing the attitude. But at the end of the day, you just got to have the horses. And I think I agree with what you said, too. Like, I think they're a playoff team. But then again, I don't know because it's about matchups, right? There are some games that people are circling on the schedule saying we're going to win. And it's like, I don't know if we can beat Philly. Philly going to be a hell of a matchup for us. Dallas hasn't looked good. They're going to be a tough matchup for us. Pittsburgh is a team that hasn't had no offense, but if they can run it against us, Justin Fields becomes an animal. Like, it's going to be matchups, man. I don't think I'm at the point where I can go and just circle victories for them. And I'm saying this because of those defenses are good, too. Like, you still play some good defenses down the stretch. You got New Orleans you got to see. You still got some games on your schedule. So I think a lot is going to be determined between now and the postseason. They got to stay healthy for the first and foremost thing. But I agree. Like, I think the offense is good enough to where they're going to keep you in every football game. The question is going to be defensively, they got to get a pass rush. That's the problem with the deep. To me, that's the central problem. If you can rush the passer, it makes everything easier. It makes St. Juice not have to cover as long. You can not have to play off coverage the way that they're playing. You can go get up and close and personal and be in people's faces because your pass rush is getting home. But that's, to me, is the defense's number one problem. The tackling's gotten better. I'm really liking Jeremy Chinn's starting to play some good ball. I think Wagner's flashing. But with Wagner, like, he need to play in the preseason. It took him 2-3 weeks to really start playing because he didn't play no preseason ball, and he's older, and he got to get out there and get used to going out and tackling. He had an open field tackle on Lamar when Lamar was about to take off for a scramble on Sunday. that I thought was like really impressive. But like defensively, to me, it starts with a pass rush. They don't got no rush, and it feels like their linebacker play is improved. But like as fast as Luvu plays, I would say I'll take his mistakes because I want you to make your mistakes 100 miles an hour. But they got to be right, choosing the right gaps and knowing when not to go, duck inside, and when to keep scraping over the top.
You told me
like
Louisville was
they still got a lot of problems.
He the one that sliced inside, right? On that that jump.
The
Derrick Henry,
toss.
I ain't even get to the defense yet, right? He was the one that sliced inside on that 20-something yard run.
Yeah. He ended up getting walked out the play. But I mean, I think you're perfectly right within the fact that they need to improve their pass rush, and the only option is to bring somebody from the outside.
I know what he going to say. Hassan Reddick.
I'm not going to say the name because I think even when you bring up a Hassan Reddick, you're talking about someone that didn't participate in anything all off season. You have no clue what shape he's in. He damn sure ain't ready to play no football. Like, this man participated in no OTAs, no mini camp, no training camp, nothing.
Can he be ready by the end of the season, though? Can he be ready by then?
He just came to the Jets facility to do a presser, and he did. And he stayed down the street 90 minutes away from the facility. So it's like, I think with this team, I thought before the season even started that they were going to be a playoff team. I think with their offense and with Jayden Daniels being the Michael Jackson of the group, he can lead them to success and having that capability of being successful, getting to the playoffs, and being a team that can truly compete defensively. I mean, at this point, I don't even care if you give up the yards. Just start flipping the field more. If you can start creating more turnovers and allowing the offense to have opportunities to build off of that, I think that would help majorly. But that pretty much all starts with pass rush. Right now, the quarterbacks are having the time of their lives to stand back there and go through progressions, whatever. It's just you pretty much got to be a bad quarterback to not shred the defense at this rate because they're not
Russell
getting
Wilson.
home. Yeah, you're not getting home. You got to be a quarterback that's going to hold on to the ball. So Dante Fowler has showed some promise in being able to pass rush, but he's truly the only.
He don't set no type of edge. He
don't set the edge. But that's not why they brought him in. He's the only guy that truly can bend the corner as a pass rusher. They're not expecting him to hold up the edge or whatever. Like that's the issue with Hassan Reddick.
Done it too, but Dorrance ain't as bendy as those guys. But
so
Dorrance is gonna be the one that I think hurts more than John. Dorrance was actually starting to get a pass rush.
Yeah, it's just going to be challenging. I even seen while we've been doing the show that it was saying that Dorrance Armstrong posted on IG of him being in the hospital. I have no clue what's up with his ribs. Lord. I don't know if they broken, what exactly.
He's in the hospital. Good gracious.
But now you're down Jonathan Allen on that D line, Dorrance Armstrong.
More snaps for my dog though, man. 90.
Baptiste is injured too.
Man, I called out 90.
JJB.
You go back on August 3rd. Was the first day he popped to me. I said, "Yeah, Slim's got some juice to him. He can play."
Here's the thing. I know we talking about the matchups, and that's my last little thing. Who really scares you in the NFC outside of a Detroit? Now, Detroit does scare me. I think they're the best team in the NFC right now. I get why you would say Philly is a matchup problem because Saquon Barkley scares me. But one thing, this defense doesn't do a lot of things well, but one thing I've noticed that they have done well, they play contain pretty well when it comes to these type of quarterbacks like a Lamar Jackson, a Kyler Murray. Like, they've done a really good job of containment against those guys. The only quarterback I've seen them really kind of struggle with is a quarterback that makes magic in the pocket like a Baker Mayfield. So outside of like the Detroit Lions, who really scares you in the NFC to say this can prevent this team?
Detroit, Tampa.
But even Detroit,
Minnesota,
Aiden Hutchinson,
and Green Bay.
Green
so
Bay,
defensively, Detroit couldn't stop your offense.
That's not even mentioning Philadelphia yet, because Philadelphia within our division itself is somebody like, so like those four, not naming
the NFC is wide open. The NFC is wide open, but like defensively against like Washington's offense, the only team I think you really gotta be fearful of is going against Brian Flores and the Vikings. Just because the way that he calls his defense is something that Jayden has not seen and most quarterbacks have not seen in the recent years. So outside of that, I feel like the NFC is wide open. It's just who's going to be the healthiest as it gets to the playoffs.
I do think you can beat Tampa in a rematch though, but
I think so too. But it's like, who's going to be the healthiest? I mean, Aiden Hutchinson going down for Detroit is a major loss. Like, they defensively don't have no pass rusher now.
That's why Green Bay, to me, man, Green Bay's got the front to give us problems, I feel like. And I think offensively, we can't stop Josh Jacobs, and we can't stop their passing game. I would be terrified of Green Bay.
Hey, question for y'all, because you, Maul, you
hold on. You got to be mindful what time it is, bro.
It's real quick. You mentioned the schedule. What team do you see on there that they could lose to? Like, that's for all of you guys. Because I honestly think that they could win every single game that's remaining on the schedule.
Philly at least one.
Philly, Pittsburgh.
How did I forget Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh, Philly, and Atlanta.
Chicago.
Only way they lose to Pittsburgh is an ugly game. Pittsburgh uglies games up.
Chicago next week. Chicago.
We could. Their defense crazy. They got a good defense.
I don't think we're favored. I don't think that Vegas favors us going into Chicago based on, and even this week, Carolina's defense I don't really worry about, but I worry about, can we stop Andy Dalton? Like, is Deontay Johnson gonna go off?
They got about 4 or 5 games on their schedule they can lose.
Come on, Andy Dalton, Lynell.
Hey, Maul, wrap up the show.
Bro, our pass defense.
You worry about Andy Dalton?
Our pass get that, but Andy Dalton is ass, man.
Chuba Hubbard is the name that I would have thought you said.
Yeah. Bro, line us up at the end. We'll get to Andy Dalton.
They better get to Andy Dalton.
Hey,
but you may be down, bro. This week, look at who you're down. You may be starting Fowler and
F.A. Obata might be back, right? Is F.A. coming back? F.A. Obata?
You may be starting Fowler and F.A. at defensive end this week.
Okay.
They gonna get to the passer?
Yeah. No, they're not.
That's what I'm saying. So how does
we ain't been getting to the passer before that, so it is
right. Yeah, but I don't know. Carolina's pass offense, they have weapons. So I do.
Fuck it, man. Start Dante 100% of the snaps. That's it. That's all you gotta do. But Lynell, let the people know where they can find you, everything that you got going on, big dog. I know you got a lot of work. Howard homecoming this weekend, bro. I hope you turning up, bro. You're not just not doing the actual the game.
Oh man, come on. I'm definitely be outside after man. Doing Howard. You
gonna be outside in your suit, bro, and your little suit jacket.
Man, I'll pop out in the suit jacket. I got some clean feet on it. I make it look sweet. Howard's been cool though, bro. I do Howard play-by-play, but that's been cool, just mingling with those people. Oh, nice. Always get around some colored folks. It was all good.
Hey, link up with Edrin. He's gonna be at the game for his son.
Eden, man. Hey man, Howard's trash, bro. That was wild to say.
Hey,
that was
man,
wild.
hey, wrap it up for him.
Hey, we're gonna cut that off.
Hey, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us on this Trap or Die podcast. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I told you that boy too comfortable. He's too comfortable with us, bro.
I feel like
y'all take it easy. All 32 is on tomorrow. Trap or Die game preview is on Thursday. We up out of here, man.
Turn off the camera, everything.
He's scared.